Welcome back. It's Mike King here, and I'm with Nils Roche. He spent his career on the carrier side of CMA, CGM, Maersk, and PIL, and now runs Solvens Advisory. And Mark Chadwick, who's president of the Global Shippers Association. Now, guys, as I trailed there, let's turn to the weather. We've got, I don't know what you want to call it. It doesn't look very good. We've got Panama Canal water levels are falling. The canal authorities cut draft limits 5 times this year. This is El Nino strengthening, which is having effects at different parts of the world. The Rhine's at record low water. But then over in Asia, we've had a run of big storms with over 2.4 million TEU capacity stranded at one point. Nils, I mean, I don't want to be too English on this because as a Frenchman, you probably get bored of it. But let's talk about the weather. More specifically, how is it affecting our industry in Europe, particularly low water levels on the Rhine? It doesn't help congestion in those northern European terminals, does it?
No, no, definitely. And we are at levels which really trigger a change in pattern for supply chain. So you have points that are now below 1 meter of water level in the Rhine. So barge cannot operate at those, right? I'm having some specific places in mind, but no need to name drop. The idea is that basically a barge today of capacity on the Rhine, you need about 100 to 150 trucks to compensate for those. It's massive, and we don't have that readily available. And I mean, it's a good news for the trucker associations throughout Europe, but it's quite terrible, and it will delay the operations in the inlands, which means that, of course, terminals will also get swamped, and they were already under tremendous delays for comparison to previous years. So that's just going to get worse. On top of that, you're going to have soon fall and winter, lack of manpower, and all the good things that makes that this will get even rougher. We don't have much time, and I'm actually doing a special on El Nino. I had Dr. Johnson from NOAA's in the USA, so a meteorologist, coming to talk with me about what is El Nino and the consequences it may have. I
That'll
will
be on
actually,
your own channel, will it, Nils?
yeah, but I will flip it to you, obviously. And it's just there are so many effects that an El Nino can have in the positive and in the negative. And we just talked about the storms that Asia is experiencing. Actually, it's hard to see on a short, like a 20-year span, a real trend. Are there more? Not really. Are they stronger? There have been some strong, but to say that in average they're stronger is actually not correct. So I'll flip you some visuals for this segment. But basically, we're gonna have more challenging conditions, again, on an infrastructure that is not ready for it. This is just going to add up.
Yeah, I'm actually going to cover this. I'm looking at the bulk shipping for World Grain Magazine. I mean, there's quite a lot going there as well. Low water on Panama Canal. We've got Black Sea ports are getting bombed all the time where a lot of grain is exported from. None of this is particularly, and obviously the harvests are all going to be affected by this weather that we've got at the moment. Just carrying on that point. This is the storms in Asia. My good friend Nick Savides in Sea Trade is reporting that carriers are heading back to the Red Sea due to delays because of those storms. So this is one of those push things that you were talking about, Nils, about people trying to use the Suez if they can or where they need to. Elsewhere, the US West Coast is preparing for more traffic as Panama restrictions are forcing carriers to limit loads, prompting some to introduce surcharges. At the moment, though, it's transit numbers are around about where they normally would be. It's more that load sizes are down. It's a lot of moving parts during peak season, Nils.
Yeah, and again, it's not that we have not seen this movie play before. We had impacts of that magnitude, and it's a bis repetita. But yeah, the timing is just it's stable for the shippers. It's actually challenging for everyone. Today, on a 10,000 TEU ship location, you may lose 500 TEU for the line to readjust this cargo, for the planner to rework on it, etc. It's tremendous work for everyone. But maybe it will support again this lengthy peak towards September. But I think the worst impact you're going to see if El Nino continues on the path it is now is actually going to be in the winter. So wait and see, or let's talk again.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, these things do tend to have a domino effect. Mark, what are you seeing at the moment? Are you seeing, are you having to reroute anything, any cargo? Are you getting any new surcharges, any delays?
So Panama, I think we've lived through a situation with Panama to maybe a different degree, but we kind of know how to handle that. The thing that's really worrying me is Europe with the situation with the Rhine. In as far as I can remember, we've not seen this before. Nothing like this has happened before. I think the impact is massive, and I think it's just starting now. I think it's going to get worse. And I don't think any of us are ready for it. The impact this is going to have on trucking in Europe is monumental in terms of price, access to capacity, delays, and it's going to affect all modes, air and ocean. It's going to be really tough.
You also have the Mississippi River, by the way, right? That is
Yes,
affected
true.
at a level.